Hey guys, check this out. I do a lot of editing on the computer. In fact, I'm rendering right now, and I have a ton of windows open on my desktop. Are you like me, where you just love leaving a bunch of windows open? Joe, why do you have so many tabs open? Why don't you close some tabs? I don't want to close the tabs. I want all tabs open. I want all the tabs all the time. Well, you need to grab yourself Opera GX. This is a browser that's going to allow you to limit the RAM and CPU usage from the browser itself so that you can have as many windows open as you like. Check out all of these cool features. Here's the RAM limiter right here. It is freaking awesome. Opera GX is the most customizable browser for gamers like us. It's also got other features.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of games, if you want to check out your favorite Twitch streamers like us, there's a Twitch and Discord integration that allows you to see when people go live and to fully customize what you see and when.
Boo, you log in right there on Twitch. You can see who goes live. You got the Discord friends messages pop right up all within your browser. Joe, what else?
GX is also available on mobile.
Guys, check out Opera GX. If you're tired of these other browsers taking up so much damn RAM and you want something way more customizable, check out Opera GX. Hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome to our review of House of the Dragon, and this is the final episode, the season finale, and so we'll be reviewing that and the season as a whole at the end. And seriously, guys, Game of Thrones is back. I'm just going to say it up front. This series has exceeded my expectations and sort of reignited my love of the universe. And I never thought that would be possible after HBO completely fucked up, or I should say D.B. Weiss and Benioff completely fucked up the greatest show in television history. So, and is it better than Game? Okay, well, we'll talk about some of that later on in the video. Instead, first, let's talk about the Black Queen, which was amazing. God, not only is the writing superb, the acting excellent, the characters interesting, but the cinematography. We finally get to see Storm's end, or Storm's, or now I'm mixing franchises, Storm's Reach, and it is storming, as it should be. It looks great. My God, when poor Luke puts down his tiny dragon and he looks over and there's this massive...
Looks like fucking Godzilla.
It looks like Godzilla in the distance. That shot was amazing. And I knew from that moment, I'm like, okay, that motherfucker is in trouble.
Yeah. Fucking
I need help. Where's my parents?
I need
Because this
help.
little... Oh, man. Wow. And... really, really cool. Just loved this episode, and I even like some of the creative choices that they made. So what's cool is, God, what's the name of the books? Fire and Blood?
Dance of Dragons and...
No, the name of the books that covers this. I forget what the name of the books is.
Yeah, I think it's Fire and Blood.
Fire and Blood. Fire and Blood. It was more kind of a dry documentary, kind of historical account with, different versions of events, because different maesters are kind of adding their stories. And so it gives them a little bit of creative license for some of the decisions they make. I don't enjoy all the creative decisions. Like me and Alex, we find the fucking story of the goddamn dagger annoying and the prophecy of Azor Ahai.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, it sucks. But there are some changes that we like motherfucking, George R.R. Martin himself has said, "Hey, you guys' series is good. It's better than mine. He's good." Billy Madison. Anyways, so there are some good changes, and in this episode, they do a little bit of character motivation changes that I think I like, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so great cinematography, great acting, and just a fantastic ending to a season that really makes me excited for season 2. This is completely unlike Rings of Power, Rings of Disaster, where I'm like, I don't give a fuck about season 2. Is there even going to be a season 2? Yes, because they have so much money. But here it is like, oh no, what am I going to do with my life for 2 years? I think they say it's more like 18 months, 16 months, but it's like, damn, this is going to suck. I cannot wait for more. And so far, this thing has been a faithful adaptation. And what we're about to get. So that this episode, remember when I was like, oh man, are they going to actually start the Dance of Dragons? Are they going to show some of the early onset of this war? And they do in this episode. Rhaenyra just loses so much in this episode. And that final shot of her,
Ding, ding.
it's on like Donkey Kong.
It's like that gopher.
What did you guys think?
Good writing. It was like tension filled all the way through. I didn't know what was going to happen. The ending was just like, what the fuck? It makes me super excited for season 2. They did a great job acting. This was a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know. I thought,
Storm's End.
Yeah, Storm's End. Why is the Baratheon guy so short?
The what?
Bobby B's ancestor. He needs to be like 7 feet tall. Can
Who
we?
fucking cares?
Because why is he so short?
I don't fucking care.
I like this episode. I think the acting was pretty good. There's some awkwardness. Like anytime a character looks into the character, it's like, under no circumstance, swear to me you'll never fight. And it's just, they're trying to set up something. It's just like, there's some clumsiness that, like, I think otherwise the episode was excellent. And it's because I have such a high opinion of everything that's happening here. Every now and then there's a scene that's like, this isn't up to the level that you've been showing me. And so there was some of that here, but I really liked it. Okay. I think that,
Well, let's jump into some of it because I thought everything was pretty well.
Having her put her son's hands on the Bible of the Sept to pray that you won't fight anyone on your way out is kind of silly. Is she religious at all? No. Are the Targaryens under any circumstance? Is she religious?
No, but they have a tumultuous relationship or a rocky relationship with the religion of the thing, but that doesn't mean that when you're sworn in, you refuse to put your hand on the Bible to be president or whatever. So it's like these are traditions that are done, that her father has done, that her father's fathers before her has done, and so it's more tradition.
When you send your kids on an errand?
Okay, I guess. So you have a problem with her making her son swear on a Bible? All right, but I don't really see how that takes away from the episode.
It's just, it felt awkward. It's like everything is so tight and out of place, and I'm watching this, and it's like, wait a minute, it was very weird to me that she would look in the camera and go, under no circumstance, don't fight anyone. It's like, is this like awkward foreshadowing, or it's just, it's not up to the level of, the other things that we've seen from this episode. It's like when we watch the last episode and you see the last thing, it's like, what is this? Like, this is something that they feel like they're throwing in to add extra weight. And I think if the weight is here, they need to stop upping the spectacle. They need to stop throwing in little...
Do you think they telegraphed the fact that he's going to die? Because they're like, you are going just across the way. It's the safest. She didn't really say it's the safest, but she's implying that it's the safest. I think she could have gone even harder into it. I think it was just enough, but you thought a little too far in it. Yeah. Joe, did you feel that was too far?
I thought it was fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, well, okay, so what I'd want to say is that there are just so much, like, the fucking designs of everything. Not only are the dragons, they could have make all the dragons look the same and just multicolored, but the dragons are so different and unique, and I love that. One's got the long neck as motherfucking Damon's. You got this tiny little baby dragon that fucking Luke rides. You got this massive Godzilla-like monster.
That was a great shot. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Everybody's talking about, we have armies. Well, we have dragons. I don't give a fuck if they look like his dragon, tiny little dragon. But if they look like that one, oh shit, we surrender. Yeah. I'm not even gonna fight. So all of that, and then even the fucking production design. Like, I'm looking at all the armor. The fucking Baratheon armor looks cool. The fucking Targaryen armor, the red and black. Just, of course, I already like red and black, but it's just everything looks cool. And the fucking table. That fucking table that they light up. That is
How
so
come Stannis' ass didn't know
like,
that?
Damn, they got LED technology up in this. This is fucking awesome, man. I just love all of it. So I'm really thinking by the end, we're talking episode 8, 9, 10. We are running on all cylinders in this series. We'll talk about that more when we get to our season 1 rating. But as far as this episode goes, it is essentially the onset. An event happens, obviously. One of her children, multiple children of hers die. And whereas she was showing restraint and she wanted to unite the kingdom, kind of a little bit too much of her father in her, Viserys in that way, she is then sparred in, which, I don't know if I believe that ties into what because the episode is giving you all these reasons. Okay, she doesn't want to go full on. I'm like, by now I think she's already ready for full on battle. But okay, she needs a little bit more encouragement, and she definitely gets that.
I hope so.
So, let's jump in. So, her son doesn't really want Driftmark, and he's right. He is feeling like, look, I can't rule this place. I don't want it. I can't even swim very well. Like, what?
I get seasick.
I hate this. And she's just talking about how, it's her responsibility. He's like, motherfucker, you weren't even going to get the role yourself. Your father gave it to you. And, and she's like, yeah, it's a duty. We have to do our duty. And he's like, yeah, okay, fine. And then Rhaenys comes to warn them. So after the previous scene that they empower her character, that she doesn't kill the bad guys and leads to thousands and thousands in the entire kingdom falling into civil war, she says, this was not, why didn't you kill her? This was not my fight to start. It's like, okay.
Boo. I love that Daemon said something, and I hate that Daemon is 100% right at all moments in this episode. And because he's supposed to be like a psycho, but like they softened everyone else so much that
we root for the psycho.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, the psycho's the only person who's right. Yeah. All right, I guess.
And so she's pregnant at this time, and she, as she's getting the news, she's getting pains. And unfortunately, I think the turmoil and the struggle of her being, forced to be a mother, but also being a leader and all this other stuff, and then just the emotional turmoil has led to a extremely gruesome scene. Did it need to be this gruesome? Game of Thrones don't give a fuck. Well, so it's even worse than the first time we saw it. They're just full on showing the dead baby and the fucking, it's like a misshapen and there's blood everywhere. And I'm like, man, that was hard to get through. It was hard to watch. And hey, it's done pretty well. She loses her baby. And, sad, and she's rocking it, and then Daemon comes in the room. I'm like, man, I don't even know what you would say to your wife at that point. You can't really do much. And dude, yeah. So we get a funeral scene, and at that moment where she's basically at her lowest, that dude knight, the one of the brothers, Eric and Eric, brings her. He stole the crown from the Greens. It's her father's crown, a badass crown. And he pledges his loyalty, though. And Daemon kind of looks at him, but I think they all accept him very easily. I would not. I would have expected Daemon to be like, I don't trust you quite yet.
Which is perfect, because Princess Rhaenys is right there and been like, no, that motherfucker is the only reason I'm alive right now.
She should have said something. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Damn it. Yeah, because I was expecting them to question him, because it's like, oh, you're bringing me a crown, and you're a spy, and, war. But no, they accept him immediately. So that would have been nice if they'd done that. But so they all, Daemon puts the crown on top of her head, as he did for, his brother, and they all bow. Everybody bows except for Rhaenys, because girl boss, and she's not allowed to. Plan is enacted. So then they go to the, she's got the badass red and black guards, and she's going to the table. And there's this odd thing where they're like, she's not going, and she doesn't want her soldiers to go with her to the table. I'm like, I'm not sure what that was, but okay. She goes to the table, and
you don't go with me. The girls go with me.
No, I don't think that was what it was. There was a bunch of guys.
Because the very next scene, she grabs her both of her nieces and like, you're coming to the table with me.
She got some
maybe
wine.
Maybe that is what it was. That's
what she did.
She did give some wine, right? And the plan is enacted. The nieces go and take their side at her son's, sides. And so they talk about how are they going to do this. They have fewer soldiers. Damon's already, you could tell that he's already got all the numbers for everything. He's ready to go. And he's like, so basically they've all decided we have more dragons. Okay. May not be the biggest dragons, but they are more dragons, and maybe we can use that. So we have to send ravens across the kingdom in order to get a lot of these allegiances and pledges that happened a long time ago. But before they can really dive deep into their battle plan, a ship shows up, and it is motherfucking Otto. Otto shows up with terms. What happens in this scene? I want to have one of y'all take it over.
They're like, well, I'm only supposed to give this information to the princess. You know, he keeps emphasizing princess, not queen. And then so she kind of lands the dragon. They're constantly destroying this fucking walkway.
I saw that.
And then it's just like, there's a stonemason that's like, man, fuck you. Like, can we just build a perch or something for these goddamn wyverns? Not dragons, they're wyverns. And then she gets off and she goes, well, I'm the queen. And they have their little argument and discussing terms of things.
Love this scene because the motherfucker's dead. I mean, it's like you show up here with no dragon and you're going to talk shit. And I'm like, man, Damon, just kill this guy. We take out an essential piece to their army, a smart guy on their side. But it is Rhaenyra, once again, who shows restraint. She actually, in a really cool way, like, remember, that was what she did when Daemon was in charge of Dragonstone, and she was doing it on behalf of her father. It's the same kind of thing, only now she's at his side, and she is taking power as the queen. So, says, fuck all y'all. Well, she didn't say that. She basically, they draw swords, and they're ready to fight. She's like, no, I'll give you your answer tomorrow. So, it's like, book Rhaenyra would probably just kill them all, but no, because she doesn't kill them all.
It's so hard for me to watch this. I mean, I love this show. I think it's one of the best things on TV. Before I can hear you already typing, being mad at me. Watching inept Allison and inept Rhaenyra attempt to play the Game of Thrones is like watching someone who is just absolutely fucking up a game, like a strategy game in front of you, and they're just like doing everything completely fucking wrong. Yeah, and it sucks because she sucks at this, and Allison sucks at this right now. And I imagine they'll get better, but it's not fun watching them now.
Well, I think what it is that is a result of the show runners intentionally softening both sides
and I don't like it.
Trying to add depth through the characters. And honestly, I'm okay with it. You don't like it? I'm okay with it. What do you think?
I think I'm fine with it.
Fine. Okay, so anyways, they're about to slaughter. Ray stops him and give an answer tomorrow morning. And then in that moment, Daemon shows, and this motherfucker's still dangerous. It's still Daemon. Because as soon as she tells him, they argue over battle strategy, and he wants to go to war. Let's do this right now. And she's like, no, let's kind of see, unite the kingdom and see if we have a chance to take them out specifically, and instead of spreading this all over. When she tries to tell him about the motherfucking prophecy, Daemon does what I want to do every time they bring up this fucking bullshit prophecy.
Everything Daemon did in this episode was perfect. Daemon, you're perfect, and I love you.
He grabs and squeezes her neck.
Don't you ever mention that shit again
about the fucking prophecy. But Daemon's reason for doing that is, that's something his brother never fucking told him.
No, he watched season 8, and he's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I was. Anyways, unless they're fixing it, unless HBO is saying we're going to fix this in the sequel series with Jon Snow, which I think that's why they keep fucking bringing it. Shut the fuck up. If I hear about this prophecy at all in season 2 and 3 and 4, I'm going to give a -1 just for mentioning it. Anyways, because that's not a book thing. That is totally an HBO. We fucked up. We're going to try to fix it.
What is fucked cannot be unfucked.
Yeah, well, I guess part of me is like, I guess I'm. If it truly is them trying to fix it in the sequel series, I may be like, I may give more allowance to it. But if you're just like, hey, you know how awesome that prophecy was at the end of Game of Thrones? No, it wasn't. Anyways, so he kind of heel turns again at that moment, and I think this is kind of foreshadowing the kind of relationship that they're about to have over the war. And then she almost takes pleasure after he fucking because you don't do that to your wife, you don't fucking do that to your queen, And then he's like, he never told you, did he? And she's almost smiling because it's like, I realize why he never told you, because you're like how you are. Anyways, then we get a scene with Lord Corals, who is awakens and he's back. Kind of, his brother's dead, and you think he'd be mad over that.
He was for 3 seconds.
What the fuck? Oh,
They killed my brother. Oh, okay.
What he say? Well, he did say some inappropriate stuff.
All right, well, fuck him. Because I don't know if he really liked his brother all that much, to be honest. So I guess I buy that. And he actually realizes for the first time that his wife has been kind of right, and he's going to give up on all this. I don't give a fuck about supporting them or them. Let's just do our own thing. And at that moment, that's when Girl Boss says, no, Rhaenyra is trying to keep the kingdom together. So she is showing peace in a time of war. I don't know the reasoning for this, but she's like, okay, I respect her now because she's trying to prevent the war. Okay, fine, got that. And so we are going to support her in the war.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that it's just like, oh, she's not, she wants the greater good for the people. She cares about the everyman. She doesn't want to plunge the thing into war. Totally pairs well with the scene that we got at last where she killed all of the everymen and women in there and didn't want to prevent the war. It was great.
Well, it kind of does, other than killing the people, because she could have stopped the war right there, and then she's doing her best not to start the war, so that's why she didn't kill him, and then Rhaenyra didn't immediately go, so she lines up. But yeah, you're right, it's hypocritical, and it's a dumb scene. It was in order to create some more visual, impressive shots, and to give her agency, and to give her a moment, and, to give her character a little better, which is fine, because not fine, it's disappointing, but some people who haven't read the book will be like, oh, okay, this is cool, and it gives her character a little more badassery for her eventual, because she does have a role in the coming war. So Daemon at this point so she sends her boys. So then they do. Lord Corals comes in and it's like, all right, tell me what the plan is. What are we doing here? He's got a badass
ravens
fleet.
out and see who's loyal to us. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, instead of ravens,
There was Tully, Stark, Baratheon. These are people that pledged an oath, and so let's send the ravens. Nope, dragons are faster, and let's send your actual sons, the dragon riders. So Jace goes north. He's got to talk to both Stark and Tully. And Luke just has to talk to Baratheon. And she saves the safest one. It's right around the corner. This guy, the Baratheons, are kind and nice to us. We have ties. There's some blood of Baratheon in you, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, the guy, it turns out to be a dick, as we'll see later. But first, she makes her boys swear on the book and shit. But Daemon is on a mission. He's like, "Where's Daemon, Lord Corals?" He's like, Where's Daemon? He's on a secret mission or whatever. He's doing something to help us.
Yeah, he knew you were gonna be here, and you cut his brother's head in half. So
Daemon goes to essentially the show does not treat its audience like a stupid person and needs to have exposition at all times. And explain this scene, because this scene is essentially Daemon going to the second largest dragon, who has no rider currently.
Big fucking dragon.
As a big dragon, and they're gonna need more dragons because motherfucking Aemon has the biggest dragon who can kill multiple dragons at the same time. So, the dragon stares at him, stares at a dragon, and potentially he can bond with that one. Though I don't think he does that in the books. I think he assigns these dragons to other people. I don't know how they're going to do it in the show, but it's Daemon that goes and searches out the second largest dragon and oldest dragon for their side. Then that's when we get the badass Storm's End scene. The the Baratheons are already being talked to by Aemon, who frankly is giving them a better deal. He's offering himself in marriage, and so the Baratheon dudes were like, now I can have my family line in there. And what are you offering? Are you offering to marry my daughters? And he's like, I have already been betrothed and I can't. And he's like, well, I don't give a fuck what my father said. I'm not my father. Those are oaths, and your stupid oath isn't helping. So, nah, I'm going to go with Aemon. Tell your mother that her deal sucks. See if she'll offer anything else. I think he kind of leaves it open, but it seems like Baratheons are going to pledge to the Greens for right now. But Aemon's there, man, and he does this little pose. He puts his leg out. Like, yeah, fucking Aemon's awesome, dude. His eye looks so badass.
Sapphire eye.
Yeah, I didn't even expect that.
Shoots laser beams.
And he's like, "No, where the fuck you think you're going, motherfucker?
Eye for an eye. Give me your eye right
Step
now.
Throws a little a dagger at him. Take your eye out, and we're cool.
Motherfucker, you attacking me with a rock.
Luke, yeah,
Grow up.
Luke should have said that.
You 40-year-old looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
And no, I refuse. And then so they are about to come to blows, and I'm like, you just hide behind the guards, kid, because Baratheon's like, no, not under my roof. Get the fuck out. And so he gets the fuck out. Unfortunately, we get unfortunately, more like fortunately, we get a badass scene of him. I'm in danger. He's fucking flying home, and he cannot locate Aemon. And it's just that shot. Of
Yes,
the
I
fucking
love that shot. It's just like
Of
that
the
thing is
clouds.
fucking huge.
Yeah.
I was like, you're in trouble. Get the fuck out of here fast.
Yeah, and not gonna go well. Man, that is so much tension, so much awesomeness there. And he's stalked by, Aemon and killed.
Well, he drew for his breath. So
They lose control of their dragons, and this is a creative change that I like. So in the books, Aemon goes with the aim to motherfucking murder and kill him. Okay, it's all very straightforward. And here, I like the added complexity of it's like, I'm a kind of a piece of shit, and I'm a playful piece of shit. I'm going to play with you first. I'm going to bully you, because they're technically kind of still kids at heart. And then he commits this horrible act. Things spiral out of control. These are, Viserys said it himself, that we don't really tame the dragons. It's kind of an illusion. If these dragons want to do what they want to do, then they're just going to do whatever they're going to do, and you're on their back, and you're on for the ride. And that's kind of what happens. Luke's dragon is freaking out. Because, yes, if Luke just stayed with the speed and maneuverability and was just a full control of the dragon and he's going home, he probably could have made it. Maybe. But I think that, it's like a cornered dog or an animal, and it lashes out. It's like fucking chihuahuas, man. Devin's chihuahua hates everybody but Devin. It's like... So that's what happens. Is motherfucker, takes a swipe at Vhagar, and you don't do that to the big dragon.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, that was
that's
dumb.
a bad idea.
the fuck you do to me, you little shit? The little fucking chihuahua. I'm gonna show you what a big dog does, and motherfucker, he's looking for him, and then comes this way, and I had to rewind that shot multiple times to watch it. Fucking in one bite, like
Split in half, pretty much.
it's an explosion of blood, basically, because Luke is gone. He did not survive that, and neither did the dragon, and all the pieces are just flying. And Aemon's like, "Oh shit!" I meant to scare the kid. I meant to hurt him, but not kill him. Maybe I wasn't really thinking, and then the dragon got out of control, and so. His mom gonna be mad when he gets home.
She just lost one child.
His mom gonna be mad. I'm talking about Alicent's gonna be fucking pissed with him. And then obviously we see how mad the Black Queen is. And the war has officially started basically in Ray's mind at that point. She is told about her young son's death, and she just dealt with the death of her father, and she just dealt with the death of her child, stillborn, and she turns around with such hatred and resolve for this war that it is on.
I hope so.
The Dance of Dragons has officially begun.
I hope she actually does. I was actually kind of hoping that she would come to the table and move some things around to let her know that she's finally ready to use the dragons. Because I didn't necessarily love that she's like, oh, we don't want to use the dragons. Like, you have no dudes. All you have is dragons.
I like the way that it stops there, because that would have felt anticlimactic. That would have felt like
Too much.
Tyrion moving the chairs at the end. It's like that's good for season 2, and I hope that's in season 2. So let's go with final verdicts on this episode only, and then we'll do after that later. So this episode,
I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think it's pretty good stuff all the way through. There's a little things that I didn't love that.
What about the change to Aemon having the motivation to either just straight murder him or I want his eye, and then things get out of control?
I really didn't like that scene.
You didn't like that one?
No, because I don't think the cornered dog thing applies when you're a dragon and there's no corner. Like if they filmed it in a way where he was cornered and they felt like they couldn't escape, either lengthen the scene where they're trying to escape and then they really can't. This is Aemon loses him, and then out of nowhere, this tiny little insignificant dragon tries to like light a big dragon on fire, and
pretty stupid.
And then it's like
this dumb move.
It kind of felt weird. I totally love that Aemon was like, "Holy fuck, what have we done?" I don't know if I love him losing the control of the dragon as much. Maybe he fed into his own like bloodlust. He's really pissed, and then he realized what he's done. But I still really like this episode. I still think it's some of the greatest stuff on TV right now. But I think the Game of Thrones scale, the 10s are really strong, and so I'm not up there at like the 9s or the 10s. This episode doesn't go to the top, but I still think this is great stuff. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
I'm going to go with a 9. I really like this episode. I like the way the cat and mouse was going on. I like I love the shots, especially just like the shadow, like seeing how huge it was, and then the background. You see, like I said,
perfect
the fucking
storm
look like this is a bad idea. You're like Aemon's already there.
You're like in it.
Yeah, and just the way Rhaenyra was dealing with everything. Some moments where you're just like, well, this doesn't make sense, but overall, it was a great episode.
Yeah, I'm also at a 9 out of 10. Where I like that explanation that Alex gave, and I think that would have even strengthened the scene even more. But I thought that scene was so well done, and a lot of these scenes are well done, and we are basically, doing fucking really great job on setting up this war and earning this war. And season 2, I hope they give the show a bigger budget because they're going to need it if they're going to have all these dragons fighting dragons and armies fighting armies, and it's going to get fucking crazy. And I'm so excited. So this is a good start. So, and then this, I think, was just... they cram so much in here. It may be a little too fast because she has to deal with all these things all at once, and maybe we could see it a little bit longer. But I think sometimes life throws shit at you so fucking fast and hard, and there's no time to breathe, and it can change you as a person. And it is now, as much as the show's been softening Ray, hopefully that shit is over with. Hopefully season 2 doesn't come and she's like, well, maybe
she's fucking pissed now.
No, she better not do that in season 2.
She fucking better be. But I mean,
yeah. No, I have confidence. So I'm also going with a 9 out of 10. So then now let's jump into season 1. Overall, remember here at the AngryJoe Show, we don't take the individual scores and average them and with the exact mathematics. It is, now that we saw the arcs, well, we see where everything's led to, the actors, the cinematography, the direction, the story, all of it factors into our final score. Let's go ahead and give it a rating.
Overall, I'm going to give this a 9. I've been looking forward to watching this every Sunday. When I first saw Matt Smith, I was like, this looks stupid.
Right.
But he ended up being my favorite character.
I know, right?
He's such a fucking badass. He
so
always knows
awkward.
what to do in every occasion.
But now he looks
the
badass.
writing has been done, the writing has been done well. And just everything's been flowing very nicely. It's a 9 for me.
Yeah, I really liked this series, and it's had to overcome a lot because the previous one had my opinion of Game of Thrones so far down, and there was some awkwardness in the beginning. I don't think they handled the time jumps that well. I mean, maybe as well as you possibly could, but I mean, it's not my fault that you chose to include the thing. So it's like they did what they could, but there's been some awkwardness in the storytelling. There's been some awkwardness in in that jumps, but I think all the actors and actresses are doing a really, really great job. I'm excited to see what comes forward. I'm almost I've said this before, but it's like this is the season that I needed to really completely nail it, because I actually don't give a fuck about CG dragon fights. I think they can be cool, but that's not something I'm gonna remember in 10 years. 10 years from now, we're talking about like the crazy stories, the storylines, the political intrigue. That's why I watch Game of Thrones. It's not the CG battles. So I think they really did nail the story and the setting it up. So I hope they can continue with that. I'm going to go with an 8. I think it's a really, really good start, and I actually am looking forward to season 2.
Okay, season 1, 9 out of 10. Agree with everything y'all guys said, and I just think that it's a triumph, because seriously, I did not want to like this series. It was like, God, I fucking gave it, you fucked it up. And I'm happy to see that we have a show that is on par with Game of Thrones. Do I think that this 9 out of 10 is season 1 of House of Dragon as good or better than season 1 of Game of Thrones? It's been a while since I've seen season 1. I'm going to say not quite. I still think season 1 of Game of Thrones is a little better. I mean, that was the best fucking show on television for years until they fucked it up. I think it's like seasons, 1 through 5? Maybe you get parts of 6. But for this season to not only exceed my expectations, but to make me excited for the world again. I even bought some painted miniatures for the thing, and I was like, I'm never playing these board games again, but now I kind of want to, and I'm like, yeah, but give me the House of Dragon stuff now. I looked it up. I was like, okay, I want to give me a Targaryen army. It's like, oh, the horse riders and the what are they? Dragon. What are the fucking horse riders? For the mother of dragons, Dothraki.
Oh, the Dothraki.
So I'm like, I don't really give a fuck about the Dothraki, because the Targaryen army by Game of Thrones is not really the badass black and red. So I want some House of Dragon minis. Anyway, so we'll be playing that board game on Wednesday. But I'm just loving the universe again, and I think they could get me there. So I'm excited. I'm happy, and that's why it's a 9 out of 10 for me. Otherwise, it'd probably be, I could see an 8 out of 10. But because they had so much to overcome and they execute the characters so well, I think it's a 9 out of 10. Why a few points off? Well, some of those time jumps, I think, some of the kind of softening of the characters, the stupid prophecy with the blade thing, and then every once in a while they'll do those kinds of moments that feels more for the audience than it does for the story itself. But even with those are all kind of, even those complaints themselves are minor in a sea of wonderfulness that's on screen. And like I said, I was excited every week to get it. I think it was like after episode 3, like I was fully on board, so really good stuff. And I'm looking forward to more. And we have just a long time to wait. No, darn it.
We have Picard season 3 to keep us company.
When is that coming?
No, I think
February
the beginning
or
of next year. So, yeah. and Joe's that way, and he doesn't even fucking never even watch the Next Generation. So, all right. Anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for watching this through with us and spending your time with us every week. If you like these videos and you want to see more reviews of streaming reviews and series, consider contributing to us on Patreon. It keeps these extra things going, and or here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.